Do you like Diego Simeone and how he goes about business?
He's a tough man, isn't he? I think he'd be a tough man to work for, a tough manager to be in the opposite technical area. But his teams play with a lot of energy. They play with a lot of passion. So from a professional perspective, I think he is a top manager.
Well, there you go. I mean, Liverpool take on Atletico Madrid tonight. That's at Anfield. So Simeone will be pitching up there. Simon, Simeone, as only he can do, has once again hinted that, yeah, you bet I'll snub Jurgen Klopp's handshake after the game. And he says, I don't like the greeting after the match because they are emotions of two sides and different emotional minds. I know in the UK, this is a custom, but I don't share it. And I don't like the falseness that it may include. Do you go with Mr. Simeone?
It's all about money. Look, yeah, I do. I absolutely do. Because why would you if you don't want to? I think it's an element of respect between managers. If you don't respect, first of all, Klopp has had his say about the style of play, so I'm not entirely sure why there should be a God-given right for Simeone to have to shake his hand. And the spirit of football is about. I mean, I can only relate it to myself. I had no interest in wanting to shake the hands of the other directors of football clubs when I went into their boardroom, or not going to their boardroom. I wanted to go in there, beat them up, drink their cheap wine and get 3 points and leave.
No, you don't. I know you. That's nonsense.
I promise you.
Do you regret that now then?
No, not at all.
If that is true.
Well, in my world, it might have been more facilitatory to have been a little bit more accommodating, but my sentiment was, we're in a battle, I'm not interested in shaking your hands, I'm interested in beating your team. And I make Simeone right to some extent, because unless you've got a relationship with this person, there's no real need for you to shake their hand, besides offering an element of how sport is held together by camaraderie and respect for one another. Well, that's a load of old BS, because it isn't held together by that. It's held together by self-interest and vested interest and individual gain. And every now and again, you get people that can see past that and bring together a team.
So why did you go in the boardroom then?
I didn't.
You didn't go in the boardroom?
No, I didn't. The only boardroom I can actually say I went into regularly was Norwich's, because I like Delia's pork pies.
Yeah, and you didn't have to win a tie.
You got to know the other directors and owners of football clubs.
Yeah, over a period of time. Of course,
how did you do that?
Footballing meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't try and trip me up on other subjects, Trevor Sinclair, because I know where you're going with that.
I can understand Simeone coming out with this, because this is so soon after the height of battle, and I get that, and I get where he's going with that. But did you honestly refuse to shake the hands of certain other directors around the country?
Yeah. Well, I didn't refuse to shake the hands.
You didn't extend yours?
I didn't put myself in a position where I had to shake their hand because I wasn't there. I wasn't interested in going in the boardroom and sitting with Daniel Levy. I wasn't interested in wearing a tie in their boardrooms. I wasn't interested in sitting with David Dean. Perhaps I should have been. Perhaps that's the impetuosity of youth. But my view was, my team are going to go to war with a team down there, and I want to win. And winning to me, at that stage in my life, didn't come with the pleasantry of backslapping and wishing them the very best when I wish them the worst. I don't wish them the best. I may the best team win. Sod off. I don't care who wins as long as it's me.
But I ask you again though, do you regret that? I mean, where's the respect in that?
People earn respect. They don't just get given it. And necessarily some of the people that you meet in football deserve no respect. But
yes, you don't mind that they probably viewed you at the time as an impertinent little nerd?
I couldn't care less. They can view me how they want.
With orange hair?
I had an orange face, apparently, because I lived in Spain for 20 years, and apparently the idea that I got a fake tan seemed to have evaded people because I lived in Spain. But the point is, you're right. You should show an element of respect. So there's an element of,
and that's why I think shaking hands.
I think it's a mistake.
And not only for the managers in the technical area after the game, but also I think that portrays onto the fans. So if there's been a lively match, which most games with Simeone are, I think that just calms things down and shows a bit of respect.
Managers have been shaking hands
and
for years,
that can calm. I think that can calm the fans.
It works well, does
it?
Yeah. I don't think that happens at all. I think that's for the birds. But I do think it's the right thing to do. I think it's about being a leader. Mm-hmm. And I think there's an element of my attitude was slightly immature, because you've got to treat both imposters the same way and actually keep your enemies closer. That's a more clever strategy than actually make sure everyone knows what you think of them. I think Simeone empowers Klopp by putting it in such a situation where he won't shake his hand, because I would actually make a point of shaking Klopp's hand, because I'd want him to know, man to man, in the grip of a handshake, how you doing, in that sort of strong grip of a handshake, that we are where we are, aren't we? And we'll see how our teams get on. Yeah. That sort of mentality. So he's made himself be more fazed by Klopp than Klopp is by him.
Fair enough. There's a message just come in from a director that Simon knew years ago. I didn't mind Simon not shaking me by the hand. I would rather shake him by the throat. That's nonsense. I made that up. Actually, just out on Twitter, Unai Emery this lunchtime, he's confirming he stays at Villarreal. Villarreal is my home. he's saying. This
Beautiful
lunchtime.
place as well. I mean,
There you
why
go.
would you? It's Champions
Oh,
League football, proper
dear.
club, you
Yeah.
know, and going into what could be a very difficult situation.
This management of this club, you know, 1 minute you're going to have Bruce in situ, then you're not. 1 minute you don't mind Arab dress, next minute you do. 1 minute you're
I know.
reporting people to the police for putting banners up. 1 minute you've got a manager, 1 minute you haven't. I don't know what's going on with the management of that football club. Leave it to Amanda. Oh, there's my bias again.
There you go. Why go to the northeast of England when you can have all the ceramic dishes that you could choose from?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.